If you've ever felt that you are capable of more than you currently are, listen to this quote from Timothy Leary that really hits deep in my core, right? Admit it. You aren't like them. You're not even close. You may occasionally dress yourself up as one of them, watch the same mindless TV shows as they do, maybe even eat the same fast food sometimes. But it seems the more you try to fit in, the more you feel like an outsider, watching the normal people as they go about their automatic existence. For every time you say the club passwords like "have a nice day" and "weather's awful today," you yearn inside to say forbidden things like "tell me something that makes you cry" or "what do you think deja vu is for?" Face it, you even want to talk to the girl in the elevator. But what if that girl in the elevator and the balding man who walks past your cubicle at work are thinking the same thing? Who knows what you might learn from taking a chance on a conversation with a stranger? Everyone carries a piece of the puzzle. Nobody comes into your life by mere coincidence. Trust your instincts, do the unexpected, find the others. Now, there was a time in my past where I was hanging around with people that would go out the weekend, party, drink, drugs. And I knew that wasn't for me because every time I was going to do that, it made me incredibly anxious. It made me very uncomfortable, and I had to almost force myself to do it because I was expected to do it. It's what everyone else is doing, so I should do it. I then came to a realization that this life, that's not for me. That I am capable of more, and the man I am isn't the man I'm meant to be. That I have a long route of personal development. And I still feel like that. The version of me that I currently am isn't the one that I'm most proud about, although I'm proud. It isn't the one at my full potential. It isn't the one that I'm satisfied or I've been on a long enough journey for. And I've always felt like an outsider. I've always felt that I just don't really fit in with what other people are doing, and that I'm capable of more. And that's not me saying that I'm better than anyone else, because people are truly content with their lives. However, that's not what I want. I want to test myself. I want to find my full potential. I want to see what a fully developed, committed, hard-working version of Cameron I can achieve. So what I did from there, once I started realising that, was I started isolating myself. And this is lonely. It's a struggle. I stopped speaking to those people and started moving away. And it's really, really tough when you start to do that, when you start to identify people in your life aren't actually helping you and they're pulling you back. Because you know that you can't be friends with them anymore. You know that you don't want to be. However, the people you do have, or you do want to be friends with, you're not credible enough. You're not experienced enough. You're not great enough. You aren't at their level yet. And that loneliness, I think, is a good thing. Because it is only truly when you're alone that you can introspect, when you can discover who you are. And I think it's really, really sad when people go through their entire lives distracting themselves with work, distracting themselves with vices and drugs and alcohol, instead of allowing themselves time to introspect. And people sometimes go through their entire life not knowing who they are because they've avoided knowing them. And if you can spend some time alone in isolation, yes, it's tough, yes, it's uncomfortable, because you're moving away from what you know into a risky unknown, but that's how you start to build a greater version of you. And that is really where you start to level up in that isolation. And there's a couple of things with that. I very much think it is scary to stand out. It is scary to start a new endeavour. It's scary to break away from the crowd. It's scary to do something that's no one's ever done in your family or your friend group or whatever. And I've had it from friends and family, people saying, "Oh, you're trying this now," or "you're going to the gym again," or "you're doing this thing." And it's not support. It's almost judgment because they aren't bold enough to do those things on their own. People are very easy to hyper criticize and hyperanalyze other people, but never ever look at themselves. That's why like bitching and ranting and getting involved in other people's business is so interesting to the majority of people, because it's not you. Because that's hard to look inside. So if you can start leveling up in yourself, start trying to be your authentic true self, start figuring out who you are, you can start attracting the right people into your life. And truthfully, that's just still a journey I'm on. Still trying to really figure out who I am, who I want to be, what thoughts I possess, where I want to go, what message I want to say, how I want to come across to people. Still trying to figure that out. I'm a lot further down the line than I used to be. When you're in that position though, it's very important that you find people in your life that can support you to push you on to higher endeavours. They don't let you back out. They are there to truly support you, and that are there because they like the true you. If you were like me and you were forcing yourself to go out and drink and do things like that isn't true. That's not a true relationship, because it's built off of something that's false. I didn't enjoy doing that. And if you're on the pursuit of trying to become better, do you really, really think that the mate you've been friends with since kindergarten is really the mate that is meant for you for the rest of your life? Probably not. You were only put in that same class by chance. It probably wasn't anything other than you knew each other and you're comfortable. And the fact that it's easier to rely on someone that you know than to take the risk in being alone. Sorry, my throat is drying out as I'm speaking. So, when you are in that period of isolation, it's really important to eventually find people because of you and yourself. But I think what is equally as important is who you compare yourself to. If you compare yourself to bums that sit around all day, do nothing, hate their job, and go out at the weekend, of course, just because you're trying, you look like a superstar. But you're comparing yourself down the way. If you compare yourself to someone online that posts how much money they've got, posts optimization, posts their morning routines, tells you to do all these things, well, how do you know that that mega successful person is telling the truth? Because they could be doing all these things and they could be absolutely miserable. I think it's really, really important that you compare yourself to someone that you know is authentic, that you like, that has done and achieved things that you want to achieve. Because if you're comparing yourself to something that is completely realistic, you will get there over time. But that's how you also build yourself into the friendships, into the support systems of that person. Sorry, my throat's a wee bit dry. So, on this journey, I actually think there's a lot you could break down from the Timothy Leary quote. And you could literally break down every single sentence. And I'm not going to do that here, because I have a lot of thoughts on it. But my biggest thought is that if you currently have the thought in the back of your head that you could be better and that you deserve a better lifestyle, you need to start letting that voice speak louder than your head than the voice that's telling you to be a little bitch, that's telling you to be lazy, that's telling you to go for vices. You need to let that good voice take over the majority of the time. And if you do, you can trust your instincts, you can be your authentic self, and you can find others that are like you. So you need to let that voice speak up. And if you haven't found the others to push you to be better, then you aren't yet at a level where you deserve to find them. So keep on pushing, keep on learning, keep on going through the journey, because I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to become much easier once they're in your life. So aim high, push past your limits, find the people, and please subscribe to this video. If you want to DM me, we can start finding the right people for you. We can start upgrading your life. We can start on that chapter where you start listening to that voice in your head instead of letting the lazy voice win. So DM me on Instagram or click the link down below and we can get chatting.